Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Beats with Kelly Kennedy, your host from the True Wellness Center. And I am extremely excited to do a solo podcast today. I have lots of notes. I have lots of things to review and lots of things to share with you about the future of this podcast, the future of our True Wellness Center, our physical practice here in Pennsylvania and South Carolina. And more than anything, I want to share incredible gratitude. When I began this process of, start a podcast, I honestly had no idea what I was stepping into. And it came at a time when the world was shutting down and I knew we needed more community outreach. One of the things that Anna and I have always loved to do is educate, to do workshops and seminars. And when we found ourselves at home, a little bit quarantined, it felt like the right opportunity and time to start a podcast. And we started a website, the NOTMEDS website, with great help from my team, which I could not have done this alone and don't do this alone at all. And we began NOTMEDS, and NOTMEDS stands for Naturally Oriented Therapists, Medically Enlightened Doctors and Specialists. And while that is a brilliant name, if you do ask me, Ian came up with it, not me. I became very aware in the last year on my journey, which we're going to talk about my 2-year journey, because we've all been in it together. And I just want to highlight some things that have gone on. However, I became very aware that the word not and the word meds are things I do not want to reinforce to the universe. So we're scrapping the name and we're full circling, going back to being just, not just, ideally and exclusively the True Wellness Center, the biological approach. And that will be our physical practice. It will be our digital world as well, or virtual world. We will still stay here as the Beats with Kelly Kennedy of the True Wellness Center. And we will continue to produce our newsletter, The Beats of the True Wellness Center. So what we have found, many things over the last couple of years, mostly that it was a bit confusing. People didn't really know how NOTMEDS and the True Wellness work together. We have Instagram pages and Facebook pages and handles and YouTube and so forth that we're consolidating over this next 3 months, 3 months ideally. So my team is fast on that, and I want to educate you about that and many of the other things that we've been up to, perhaps you don't know about. And if you are currently following those, go check out the True Wellness Center or check out the Beats, which we've relabeled now, NOTMEDS, because we want to continue to make sure that we are getting our information out there and continuing our outreach. You know, I feel like the luckiest person alive. I honest to God do. I get to live my dreams every day. My husband, my partner, has not only changed my world by helping me understand the body, the energy inside my body, which I still to this day find hysterical that his name is Ian and his answer was energy all those years ago and remains to be energy. And if you know anything about science, Ian is a charged particle, which means energy. He started me on this journey and I needed to understand it. And what I did know is that his message and the magic, which is the magic, but the field that Ian creates. Those of you who have spent time with him know that you'd rather be with him than without him, and that's a gift. And anyway, he's amazing, and I wanted to put him on every stage and get him out there to the world. And what I became really present to a couple of years ago is that was my dream, not his dream. And he was just as happy to spend the rest of his life with Silas and I and see clients on a one-on-one basis and write and teach. Those are his dreams. My dreams were to change the world, change the face of medicine, and make bioregulatory approach the foundation to health, and to change 23 billion people's lives, which is 3 generations of people. And when COVID hit, it became very apparent to me that people didn't understand how their body worked. And I didn't understand how podcast summits, the internet, social media worked. So we both had some work to do. And so with my team and some great coaches that I've been very blessed to have in my life, I've started to figure it out. And because of all of you and your continued support, I love your emails. I love your comments. Some of you send me Voxers. Some of you call me, text me, tell me when I run into you. And I so appreciate every one of you that continue to follow us, that continue to give me ideas of how to improve, that share this with your community to help our outreach. I continue to have gratitude for that, because this is how we can change the world, by waking up, by educating and informing ourselves and empowering ourselves. And that's essentially what Ian helped me do 20 years ago, when I was living on painkillers and muscle relaxers, when I was looking at a life which I was not happy about, full of pain and management of pain, and trying to not run into my genetics from my father, who had dealt with chronic illness. And that began my journey 24 years ago. And when this airs, I will be officially 48. And this is starting my next 24-year journey. I had written goals out 23 years ago, for those of you who know my story, on blue cards with my mentor, my first business mentor. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was dumb enough to just write down big, lofty goals, because he said, think big. And so I did. And I have been able to accomplish every one of those goals, succumbing with or finalizing with the Bioregulatory Medicine Institute honored myself and Ian to teach this last year again in front of a bunch of doctors in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I realized as I was flying on the plane, working on my slides, showing my before and after picture, that my journey began in Scottsdale, Arizona, writing out my affirmation cards as I was told and I wrote out a 23-year goal, because 23 is my favorite number. And I have accomplished all those by 46. And last year, I realized that it was time to write some new big goals. And while I have not created 23 billion people knowing about this, because there's only 7.6 billion people in the world, so that's 3 generations later, when we accomplish this, I will know that we have changed medicine for the future, and I will have accomplished my life's purpose. I love sharing everything that I get to learn about to you all, and through my colleagues. And I remain humbled by the stories that I hear, from pumping your lymph at home, to learning how to meditate, to really learning what quantum physics is, to understanding heart rate variability or water or whatever that is. And I want to kind of go through what's happened since we started this podcast, because I honestly had no expectations, other than I was adamant about making sure people understood their body, how their body worked. And it was pretty obvious to me when COVID hit that was not evident, because people were expecting to get their immune system or their protection for their immune system from a mask and from quarantining. And we knew that was not the way to do it. We knew expanding your microbiome, hugging more people, exposing yourself, upgrading your biology with the viruses is how the body actually works. This is about terrain, that we are an ecosystem. And so I don't want to delve too much into that. Go to the podcast and learn all about that. And I'm just going to jot through my notes a little bit so I don't miss anything. We are rebranding, just to clarify. NOTMEDS is going away. The True Wellness Center remains. It'll take about 3 months or so to complete that cycle. So start looking for that on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channels. And thank you for sharing that with all your friends and continuing to share this podcast and all the other great things that we've been able to so far offer. And there's so many more offerings coming to a theater near you. So, okay, so that's what happened. We do have a store soon we're going to have one website. That's been one of the other confusions. We have like 3 websites, all with different information. We have Lymph-ology, we have NOTMEDS, and we have the True Wellness Center. They're all going to be on one site now. So you can find your PDFs, your videos, your shop, all eventually on the True Wellness Center. It's coming. It's not here yet. It's coming soon. We're working on that diligently. Our whole marketing team is working on that. And the shop, though, if you go to our shop, we have lots of opportunities for you to get discounts from some of our friends that have done podcasts, from anywhere from Paleo Valley to synergy science to a new one that will be released in a few days. But we make as much available to you as possible with a discounted rate. We just pass along any discounts that our colleagues are willing to give us so that you can reap the benefits of all this great information for the least amount of investment possible. But do remember, everything you apply in your life, whether that's time or energy or finances, any resources, is an investment in you. And who better to invest in than you? So think about that for a second. One of the first things we started to do with podcasts was get invited to be on other podcasts and summits. And honestly, I didn't know what the heck a summit really was, except a big online class that I had taken a couple of. And then I was starting to be on Beyond Biological Medicine with Dr. Christine Schafter, which led to so many other things like the Lymphatic Summit, and Dr. Pompa had me on Cell TV. And then I started teaching for Dr. Pompa with some of his platinums, teaching about lymph. And then we started teaching more about energy medicine. And I was on the Energy Medicine Summit, again, with Dr. Christine. And it really turned into this incredible outreach that was so fast and had so many people from all over the world asking me questions about, well, how do I take advantage of what you all do? And I looked at Ian and was like, unless they fly here and spend a week with us like so many do, I don't know how to help them virtually, other than show them how to do a little manual stimulation on their lymphatics, which is wonderful and helpful. And for so many, it wasn't enough. And so we got together, we figured out how we could do that. And we decided that classes were the first place to start. So we did 3, what I would call master classes, one on heart rate variability, one on water with Rasmus. Or no, that one's coming. We did heart rate variability. Water hasn't been released yet. Apologize. We did heart rate variability. We did lymph with Desiree. Heart rate variability was with Rasmus, and honest to God, I can't remember what the 3rd class is right now. That's good. You can go check it out. And because I've recorded classes that we haven't yet put up, so little there. I probably should check that. But we've made virtual classes available to help educate you a little deeper on these subjects. And the summits are all still available. You can click on them on the website and watch them. They do run a week for free often, and then you have to pay for them. But there's a lot of completely complimentary information on all the podcasts that not only we've recorded here through the Beats, but also the ones that we've recorded on so many of our colleagues, either podcasts or their summits. So check out all that. And then we started to, I started selling some equipment to my practitioner friends, because we had found a solution for the lymph, and I knew this was a huge issue in the world. And that's why I became known as the lymph queen in many of these circles. And the Flow Prezzo, which Desiree Despong out of New Zealand helped create, or not help create, created, I wanted to market. So I wanted to share that with my friends. So we started talking about it, and Ian got involved with the immune modulation allergy elimination technology, which is taking what he's known for years about vibrational medicine and therapies and putting it into a computer system that does not use the internet, and allowing people to have not only in-person, but long distance therapy, which has always been a big goal of mine, because we have so many clients that come here and then travel back home, and they're quite a bit of distance away. And how can we really help them outside of consulting? And between myself and Ian, over 60 practitioners in North America, just in this last year, have expanded their practice to include these 2 great pieces of equipment to allow them to help people find that inner innate intelligence and to excite it and to fine tune it. And so we are now starting to train practitioners as well. I teach lymph node release with 4 CEUs, as well as we're going to offer 2 classes this year. Ian and I together, a 2-day class, one where I teach lymph node release to lay people, and one where Ian is teaching more spiritual opening. I don't honestly know what he's going to teach. I just know he has been working on so much content for you all since like November. And he's also going to be releasing a practitioner program to help clients get certified as a wellness coach, so that they too can understand the bioregulatory approach. And it's the beginning of that. Dr. Schaffner and I as well have some big plans for that in collaboration with Bioregulatory Medicine Institute. So there's a lot coming down the pike to not only extend our reach, but help our colleagues reach more people. And so if you have any outreach ideas, I don't know why that just came to me, but go ahead and send me your ideas. We're all about outreach. We also were very fortunate, Dr. Schaffner and I, to do a retreat this last year, which was on our heart for about a year. She did one for practitioners, and then we did one together for clients called FFU, Female Frequency Upgrade. We did that in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we will be doing that again this March for a very select group of women. And you can look for the dates and the registration form and so forth on our websites. That was an upgrade for us too. Honestly, we got as much out of that as every single one of our attendees. And we got even a bigger bonus because we got a new team member from that retreat. But it was absolutely incredible to take people through a very intensive experiential form where they got to do Sound of Souls and Flow Prezos and have appointments with Dr. Schaffner, and really to apply bioregulatory medicine in a quick, intensive 2.5-day experience. And I can tell you with a surety, every one of those women felt that. And it's essentially what we do in our office. We just got to do it at a different location. And it was a beautiful setting. And we had a few other little additions there. So it was absolutely fabulous. We'll be doing 2 more of those this week or this year. Yeah, not this week. I also had become resonant to the fact that I had not hired a coach in 20 some years. And my first business coach that was one of the biggest things. He said, "Who's your coach?" And I was a collegiate athlete. I was a high school athlete, and I love learning and I love coaches. And I was like, yeah, where the heck is my coach? I don't know anything about virtual anything. So I hired an incredible team, and Health Experts Alliance has been invaluable to me this year in helping us automate some things and scale some things so we can reach more people and we can be better practitioners, better support for all of our client base. And we have not implemented all of that yet. Just a few aspects of that have been implemented. But a lot of the foundation has been set and is continuing to be set so we can integrate and implement so many of these changes. You know, True Wellness functioned as a very small business for, we are in our 18th year. So for really 17 years, we functioned as a very small business. And it was really just Ayn and I and our incredible staff. And, you know, we had no idea how to go any bigger than that. And we really are beginning to figure that out. And a lot of it is through these digital products and programs and through education. And, you know, we are very humbled by the reach that we've had and the colleagues that have helped us get there, and our own selves, because Ayn and I stay committed to our journey. You know, he has dived deep into Sadhguru. For those of you who've heard anything about him in the last couple of years, he's dove very deep into that work, into his spiritual, I don't like to say the word practice, but his spiritual time and devotion. There's the right word, his spiritual devotion. And I too have continued my spiritual devotion everywhere from Joe Dispenza to Sadhguru to Sound of Soul. And I want nothing more than for all of you to feel like I feel every day inside my body, so aligned, so uniform, so joyful, even if the sky is falling. I get intense for sure. And that intensity comes from wanting the world to experience the true wellness, wanting the world to experience their wellness within, wanting the world to empower themselves to feel what can happen. And so it does not matter to me if Sound of Soul is your tool, breath work is your tool, Flow Prezzo is your tool, Sadhguru's inner engineering, or Joe Dispenza's week-long retreat, which I just got back from, whatever your tool is, or perhaps just as intensive and progressives. Bottom line is, we are physical beings. There is no doubt about it. We are molecular. However, we are light beings. Light is how the cells communicate, and there's so much more there. And water, right? We are a vibrational being having a physical experience, and I am more resonant with that than I ever have. I have more understanding of that, and I want to make sure you all get that. To that end, we are very focused on this attention for this year to set some new programs to help you all experience that. One is we are going to be teaching more online classes in regards to attention focus. I am not using the word intention on purpose. It is called attention focus. More on that later. Ayn and Sarah will be teaching more breath work, both in person as well as virtually. And Ayn has offered once a quarter to lead a spiritual walk on a sacred journey, to a sacred place, rather, a spiritual walk to a sacred place here in Pennsylvania. The first one, we're going to release the date soon. It will be on a Sunday. It'll be from 1 to 4-ish. You will meet here at this location, and then you will carpool. It will be for a select group of people. So let us know if you're interested in that. Right now, we'll start them once a quarter, and I am very sure that if they gain in popularity, he will do them more often. And we have a BRMI event coming up in October. For those of you who missed it last year, mark your calendars. We'll put the dates down here. I believe it's the 13th through the 16th of October. And that will also be in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're going to create more classes for you. As I mentioned, there's a water class, a sleep class, an immune class coming soon. There's also some mini classes on lymph and on water and immune, in addition to that. And I really want to thank my team. You know, there's been a lot of changes in our team, and then there's been some tried and true. So I'm going to start with Julie, who's been with us for 9 years, who moved to Florida this year. That was a big change for us. And Julie remains a very integral part of our team. She is helping in many aspects still run this practice, but she's also helps me run the business, and she helps with all the sales and a lot of the training for the Flow Prezo clients. And soon she will be helping a lot with series. Some of you might be familiar with the bottles, the series bottles. I don't have one right here in front of me, but they are the remedies that we've been using for over 12, 15 years from Switzerland. And we were able to gain the exclusive rights to represent that company this year in the United States. And I am honored to do that. The Kalbermotten family, who has created and developed series, has done nothing but an exquisite job of holding on the essence of the plants. And we are going to be able to not only continue to get all the ones that I know you all are missing, like echinacea and ginkgo and passion flora and melissa and valeriana. Trust me, we know. We feel the same way. But there's been a lot of FDA stuff going on behind the scenes, and so that'll be soon. And so Julie will help with that company as well. But Julie remains a huge integral part of this team. And Bree, who came on just prior, I think it was about 2 years ago, actually, this month, that Bree came on our team. And she has just blossomed into an amazing soul in helping our team members and helping our client base here in our physical Pennsylvania office, everywhere from scheduling your appointment to putting you on Flow Prezo to holding your hand when you're crying. She's absolutely amazing. We're grateful to have her. And she's going to have a little bit more assistance there soon, because it's a lot more than one person's job. And Sarah, as you know, has taken over so much of the body work, the nasos, the lymphatic work, a lot of the breath work, time massage, and sound of soul that I was previously doing to allow me to help develop all these programs for you all. And Sarah is just about to graduate massage school, and I know they're going to miss her, and we are going to be happy to have her back, even more focused here. She's continued to remain part of our marketing team. She's always helping in editing and coming up with ideas, and she's an absolute gem and gift to us. Genevieve Greco, always behind the scenes. Many of you have met her because you've done nutritional consults with her. She used to do cooking classes for us when we had a kitchen. But Genevieve does a lot of our social media posts and many, if not all, the recipes that we post. And while we don't get to see Genevieve often enough, she is another gem that we are so happy to have on our petal of one of the petals of the flower that remains steadfast and true to the point of education, making this simple and making this foundational. Alyssa came on our team about a year ago, and Alyssa is our marketing team manager, and she is responsible for making sure all that back end stuff happens and all the buttons you push on virtual that work. And sometimes if they don't work, she fixes it, and she helps edit in this podcast. And she has become such an integral part of our team. She is also on her own journey of wellness practitioner, and she's continuing to light herself up. I'm sure she laughed when I said that, over that. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come from her. Sue is our member down in South Carolina. Sue had been a client actually for many years and moved to Charleston, South Carolina. And when we bought our second home in South Carolina, Sue ran on right down. She was only an hour and a half away. And she and I I've always said Sue would be an incredible practitioner. She learned some of the lymphatic work many years ago. And now she's really she's joined our practice officially, and she runs our Bluffton, South Carolina center that is inside Rooted Living in Bluffton. And Sue is amazing. She's so heart-centered. She's great with lymphs. She's great with putting people on and off Loprezo. She's great at rapid flow, and she knows node release. And we are looking to expand into Charleston, and we have another new member to be announced soon for more nutritional consults. And Laura, who's totally behind the scenes, is helping with a lot of implementation. She's also been a client, and she's my alma mater graduate buddy who has an engineering mind and a tech mind and is really great at helping us implement new software, because we're looking to have a portal for you all. We're looking to make your notes digital. We're looking to have scheduling that's online. We want to really make it easier for you to know what to do next, to know where you're at, and to know how you can get there. That's done through software. And we have tried, I don't know, 3 over the last 5 years, all with big thumbs down. And so our newest team member, Nina, who we met at the retreat, who also was at the last BRMI event, she came on board in December, and she is currently very engrossed in our world. She is actually living with Ian, myself, and Silas for a short amount of time, traveling back and forth to her home in Florida to really immerse herself so that she can help us elevate. She's here just for a short time, so you might see her if you're in Pennsylvania in and around the office. She also is an incredible practitioner, and she took the lymph node release class as well, and she absolutely knows how to do pretty much all the body work that we do here plus more. And she's an incredible woman, and we're super psyched to have her on our team. And do I have to mention Ian is a part of our team member? I think y'all know that, but I'm just going to say this. One of the reasons NOTMEDS had to be rebranded is because of this. When we started True Wellness 18 years ago, it was because of a situation that happened that I turned to Ian and said, "Are you finally ready to do this on your own without anybody else?" And he said, "Yeah, okay." And he came up with the name, the True Wellness Center. And I wanted the world to know who Ian Kennedy was and how the True Wellness Center worked and how a bioregulatory approach could change their lives. And I wanted him on stages, and I wanted him here and there and the everywhere. And I realized 3-4 years ago that that was my dream, not his dream. And I would tell you, every day of his life, he gets to live his dream. Silas is the light of his life, and I get to share that lovely life with him. And I'm not going to speak for him, but I think I'm the best out of all the wives that he's had. And I think he really loves our life. He loves seeing clients one-on-one. He loves writing content. He loves teaching. He gets very excited for those of you who've been in any of his in-person classes where he taught iMate this last year rather, or he taught you how to meditate and sit. It excites him. He is a teacher. And so I know he turned 63 this last year and is amazing. He's growing that big white beard. If I had a complaint, that would be the one, but I have no complaints. It's just something to be aware of that's interesting to me, that I ended up with a husband with facial hair, because I love that face of his. And we're going to be doing a podcast next week for you all, so you get to hear more from him. But I want to just say that why NOTMEDS had to be born at some level was because I had to find my own way. I had to find the way I was going to do this medicine. Ian knows how he does this. I was kind of just duplicating what he was doing, wasn't finding my own way. And I found my voice. And Heidi helped me find my voice. Heidi lives in the 5D now, and she passed January 23rd, which is when this is airing, 2 years ago. And it is the perfect anniversary gift to share with her that NOTMEDS was born so that True Wellness could really come together and be the global influence that it was meant to be. And so as I had NOTMEDS and I developed NOTMEDS, there was kind of like this division almost. Some people knew about NOTMEDS, some people knew about True Wellness, not many knew about both. And I became very aware of that when Bree took a vacation this summer, and I was like, wait, what's going on? What do you mean? Her clients of 15 years don't know I have a podcast. What? And of course, it's confusing. 2 different names, 2 different websites. And unless you are a social media person, you didn't know. So we're changing that. And I feel as though I have grown enough that I can come back to the nest and reintegrate myself and bring our 2 worlds and our 2 missions together. And I have developed my own leadership skills and overcome my own crap and overcome my insecurities. And I'm sure I'll still go through some of it for sure, because ever evolving. I had to get to a place where both of us could stand on stage essentially and help educate the world. And I think that took my growth. So I'm happy to say that Ian and I are stronger than ever. And if you haven't checked out our new logo that we developed, that of course he developed in his mind over this last year, please do. It has all the symbols. It represents everything. And the future is, get ready for it. Here we go. This is much longer than 15 minutes. They were like, oh, can you do it in 15 minutes? Oh yeah. No, I said no. I knew it was going to be longer than that, but stick with me, y'all. You're doing great. The future, ready? Focused attention. We're going to teach IMATE. Ian's going to do more classes for that. I'm going to teach more lymph node release classes, and we're going to get more into bioregulatory approach when we're teaching those lymph node release classes. The spiritual walks to a sacred place with Ian. Practitioner programs. We talked about that. We're developing a 6-month virtual program called The Cure. Constantly upregulate your ecosystem. And that will take a few months to roll out, but get ready for it. And there's going to be many cures showing up before that rolls out, because it's taken a lot to put together. I was very unrealistic, thinking it would take me 3 months, and I'm 9 months into that process and not even close to releasing it. We are going to have more classes in person and virtual on all different subject matters, particularly helping you understand how you can live this in your life, how you implement this living in your life, so that if you do need a center like ours to restore your health, or you want to maintain your health, or you're looking to enhance your health, you have access to it. But you also know you got this, and you can do this. You can engage your own innate wisdom. You can remove your blockades to healing, and you can open yourself up to the perfect union and healing of source and God's love. You know, not a huge John Lennon, Beatles, I'm a big fan, but don't know much about it other than that song, All You Need Is Love. And Sound of Soul taught us that. My mother taught me that. My husband taught me that. My son teaches me that every single day. And at the end of every one of my podcast, I ask that person, what is the secret that you want to share with the 7.6 billion people that are on the world? And that's what I want to share. Love is all you need. You got to start at home. You got to start with yourself. And I think I had to fall in love with myself over the last few years. And on my journey, there were some ups and downs, and I've not been very available to many of you since October, November, December, and a couple of weeks in this January. I was on my own end, I'm not the end of my journey, another chunk of my journey that allowed me to really see what the next 24 years and beyond can bring. To see that we can change the face of medicine, that the needle is tipping, and that sound of soul, which I, again, excuse me, I again am completely humbled and honored to represent Rasmus's device to allow people that mirror image back to themselves. Sound of soul is an opportunity, a tool like inner engineering, like doing pineal gland or energy center blessings or chakra healing or whatever your tool is, light therapy, whatever your tool is. Here, I can show it better. Solarigem, to allow you to resonate back with yourself by allowing you to really deep down into your soul, feel yourself. And that's where the love starts, to remember that we are all part of one and we all go back to one. And we are here, we are connected. Community is the answer. We are upgrading right now as an organism on this planet. I have said for more than 5 years that our job as an organism at this point is to make sure that the toxins move out faster than they come in. And that is on a physical plane, absolutely the truth. And those toxins start right here in your mind. What are you exposing yourself to? You have, I don't remember the number, and I'm not going to throw out a statistic, but I know it's well over 10,000 thoughts a day. What are they engaging you in? What are they empowering you with? How are you helping yourself every day? So when this aired, yes, today is the 2-year anniversary of Heidi passing onto the 5D. And yesterday was my 48th birthday. And so I have completed my 4th cycle of 12. And if you don't know what that is, go check out one of the podcasts I did some time ago, or read Inner Engineering, or many other things that Sadhguru talks about. And I want to give you all a gift because I get to live my birthday every day. My mother just asked me on the phone, "Oh, are you okay if I give you this?" And I won't have it to you on time for your birthday. And I said, "Mom, I have everything I need and want in my life. I don't need anything." "Well, are you okay if I give you that?" "Mom, you can give me any gift you desire. You just being here is present enough." And I really feel that me waking up every day, seeing the glory of the birds, hearing the glory of the birds, seeing the glory of the sky, seeing my son's face, feeling my husband's breath, all of that is what gets me going, not to mention the amazing testimonial stories I hear of all of you out there taking this information, making it part of your life and helping your bodies heal, and then telling us how you did it. It is the best gift I get. And I want to give you all a gift, which I am going to end this podcast. And when you are ready, you get to, if you would like, click on this next button, and I'm going to share with you my morning routine. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. It's not a huge routine. It's a couple yoga poses, some getting the fascia moving, getting all the cookies and the cracks out. And then I'm going to lead you on a spiritual vision quest, I'll call it, through breath. And I want to do that because this 10, 15 minutes that I spend with myself every day. And now, honestly, there are days that it's much longer because I'm in the middle of doing something with myself right now. That has what has changed my world more than anything. And it goes back to what Ian said to me all those years ago. Go and be what? What do you want me to be? Just go and be in the other room. Okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to do yoga? No, I want you to be. What does that mean? What do you want me to think about? What do you want me to read? What do you want me to just be? And I do get the movement in because I want to get the chi flowing. I want to get the fascia open. I want to get that lymph pumping so we can let it go. And then we like to do some quiet time with myself. in breath. And often when I do that, I think of nothing. Sometimes I do that, I set on a vision. I am making this gift to you more of a vision for you to envision what your next year is going to be like. And I wish you all the happiest of days. Thank you all again for participating in the beats, for commenting, for showing up every week, for giving me your time and attention, because I know how incredibly valuable that is. And if you learned anything from this podcast and all of my guests, I pray, I trust that you learned you have this inside you. You got this, and only you can do this. We are just facilitators, allowing you to light yourself up and fall back in love with you, remembering where you come from, where the source is from, and that God's love absolutely conquers all. From my heart to yours, have a wonderful, incredible, grateful, inspired day, y'all.